Students, please welcome to the Oval Academy of Education. In today's video lecture, we are going to start here with ICSE class 10. Subject is bio. Chapter is first. Book is Concise Biology by Selena Publications. And chapter first is about cell, the structural and functional unit of life. This chapter is for revision aspect only, as you have already done in class 9th, a large portion of it in class 9th. So students, please always keep in mind that syllabus of class 9th 10th is equally important for the NEET exam of biology. Is equally important. Biology, physics, chemistry and math is not only important for for NEET exam, but also important for JEE, right? So do it carefully. You will find that most of the syllabus is also in your +1 +2 classes in elaborative form. So do these basic things very carefully, right? No, not only in point of academic view, but also in the view of the competitive exams like NEET, JEE. So let us start. So as you know, all organisms are made up of microscopic cells, right? These cells are very minute, very microscopic, and they perform different activities and functions of our body, or contribute to the overall tasks of an individual. So here it is also to be noted that majority of the organisms start their life as a single cell, but by the time goes, the same single cells undergo a repeated divisions and changes to give rise to large mass of cells. So these cells further get specialized for various tasks such as giving support, producing secretions and carrying the numerous life activities. So we will study all these aspects in detail in the forthcoming portion of this basic biology of class 10th. So let us start. So cells is the first thing in basic thing in the study of biology. So some of main points about cells are as follows. All living beings are made up of cells. As you know, the cell is a structural and functional unit of the body or our life. All cells are basically alike in chemical composition. They are similar in chemical composition, but they perform not only they are alike in chemical composition, but they also alike in metabolic processes, right? So all living beings arise from pre-existing cell. Up to this you have studied in the class 9th. So now let us move further. So now we will discuss how many cells are there or how many cells are needed for our life. So it depends upon the size of the body. Larger an organism, greater the number of cells in its body. right? So all living things are made up of microscopic cells, as you know. Some are made up of just only one cell, like bacteria and amoeba, while larger plants and animals are composed of billions of cells. Animals are composed of billions of cells, right? So next thing we are going to study here is what are unicellular and multicellular organisms. So unicellular organisms, as its name is depicting, uni means one, living organisms made up of only single cell are called unicellular organisms. Examples you have done in your previous classes: amoeba, paramecium, bacteria, chlamydomonas. All these are the examples of unicellular organisms. So here we get the definition of unicellular organisms. And now multicellular organisms. So majority of living organisms are made up of millions or billions of cells, and they are called multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are less and multicellular organisms are more. For example, volvox, rose, mosquito, mango, human, animals, these are all multicellular organisms. So now we will discuss the size of the cells, how small they and how big are they. Cells are very small and can be seen with the help of a microscope. So smallest cells, examples of smallest cells are bacteria, red blood cells, RBCs, as you know, RBCs in our blood, right? Longest cell are our nerve cells are the longest. Largest cell are the bird eggs, that is central yellow sphere of these eggs. So it is of ostrich egg. Before the development begins in it, the largest single cell of living world today is ostrich egg. The white albumin of the egg and the egg shell are extra parts added on the actual egg, as it possesses down the reproductive tract, right? Only the yellow central yellow sphere is the largest, but the eggshell, the white egg and the eggshell are extra part added to on the actual size of the egg, right? So on an average, an adult human is composed of approximately 200 different types of cells, right? Keep it in mind. 37.2 trillion cells in the whole body exist, and 100 billion nerve cells in the brain cortex are found. 25 trillion red bloods are approximately in our blood cells, right? So this is the average size of the cells, how big and how small and how big they are. Now cell shapes. What types of shapes does the cells have? The different cells are of different types of cells and often they are related to different functions they perform, right? According to functions they acquire the shape. So human red blood cells, RBCs, found in our blood, are circular and biconcave. For easy passage through blood capillaries, and to transport oxygen. Why they are circular and biconcave? For easy passage through, to give easy passage of passage through blood capillaries and transport the oxygen, right? So that blood capillaries are narrow, so due to their oval shape they can move from one place to another in our blood capillaries, right? Let us move to the next. So now students, white blood cells. So white blood cells are amoeboid, that is in the shape of amoeba, and due to which they can perform amoeba-like movement with pseudopodia and can squeeze out through the our capillary walls, right? In the same way, nerve cells are long. White blood cells are amoeboid, RBCs are circular or concave. Nerve cells are long to conduct impulse from distant part of the body to the brain and vice versa. In the same way, guard cells of stomatal pores in the leaves of the plants are bean shaped to open and close it, right? Bean shape like this, right? To open and close it. So you have seen, they have acquired the shapes according to their function. They have acquired structures according to their functions, right? So now we will move on to the next portion, that is gross structures of the cell, the three essential parts of the cell. So to understand this, let me, so students, cell membrane, so three essential parts of cell are cell membrane, or we can call it as plasma membrane. Second is cytoplasm, and third is the nucleus, right? Third is the nucleus. So these are three important parts: cell membrane or plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. So what is cell membrane? So this cell membrane encircles the cell. This cell membrane encircles the cell. This is the cell membrane. This is animal cell. This is shape of animal cell, and this is plant cell, right? This is animal cell. This is plant cell. So this is cell membrane of the animal cell, and this is cell membrane of the plant cell. So it encircles the cell. Cell is found inside it, right? So it is a living membrane having fine pores. It is found in both animals and plants. It is made of lipoproteins. Lipoproteins means lipid plus proteins. Lipid or fats plus proteins. They are called lipoproteins. So what is its function? Its function is to provide the flexibility to the cells, and it is semi-permeable, or we may call it as selectively permeable or differentially permeable. So what does it mean? So it means that it allows only certain substances to pass through while preventing the others. So it is selective. It allows some substances to go in and some substances to come out. So it is selectively permeable. In the plant cells, here in these plant cells, an additional outermost non-living layer called the cell wall surrounds the membrane. So this cell wall is found only in the plants. It is not found in the animals. So cell wall is absent in the animal cells, right? So what is this cell wall? Cell wall is a non-living membrane. It is mostly made up of cellulose. Another important thing, cellulose. It gives definite shape. This has given definite shape and rigidity to the cell. So it is freely permeable. So cell membrane is selectively permeable. This is freely permeable. What? Cell wall, right? Freely permeable means allow substances in solution to enter and leave the cell without any hindrance, right? So this was all about cell membrane or plasma membrane found in both plants and animals, but animals have cell wall made up of cellulose which is freely permeable. Plant has a cell wall made up of cellulose which is freely permeable, right? Cell wall is absent in animals, right? Next thing here we are going to understand is cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is the part of the cell which is inside the cell membrane. Cytoplasm is here. Where it is? Here. Cytoplasm is found inside the, here it is in animal cell, here it is in plant cell. Cytoplasm, it is found inside the cell membrane and outside the nucleus. So where is nucleus? Where this is the nucleus part, so outside the nucleus, right? Cytoplasm, right? So here it is, this is the nucleus and here is the cytoplasm. Here it is nucleus. So next is, it is a semi-liquid substance. Cytoplasm, semi-liquid substance. Many chemical reactions are catalyzed by enzymes that occur in it. Enzymes that occur in it. It contains several organelles, each concerned with a specific function, right? What? Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm has several organelles which performs their function, right? Like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, right? Lysosome, they all perform functions, their specific functions. The part of the cytoplasm other than the organelles, that is mitochondria etc., is called cytosol. The part that is not having the organelles, cell organelles, it is called cytosol, which constitute mainly the liquid medium, right? So let us move on to the next important part, that is nucleus. Nucleus is a large, so here it is animal cell nucleus and here it is plant cell nucleus. So it is a large spherical body lying nearly in the center of the cytoplasm. So this is nuclear parts, this is nuclear parts near the cytoplasm. It is surrounded by a double layered nuclear membrane with nuclear pores. So this is nuclear membrane with pores. These are pores, right? Small pores are looking here. Nuclear pores, here nuclear pore, here nuclear pore, here nuclear pore, right? The ground substance of the nucleus is a semi-solid substance that is called nucleoplasm, right? That is the nucleoplasm containing one or more round shaped nucleoli, right? This is nucleoplasm, this is nucleolus or nucleoplasm, nucleolus, right? The nucleoplasm contains a network of dark colored fibers called chromatin fiber. These fibers are the network of chromatin fibers. These chromatin fibers condense into thick chromosomes during the cell division. These chromatin fibers condense into the several thick chromosomes during the cell division, right? So let us move on to the next. So these are chromosomes I have told you during the cell division. So this is an early stage of the cell division process in an animal cell, showing two pairs of chromosomes that have condensed from the chromatin network, and inside the nucleus chromosomes number varies from one organism to the another, right? So let us move on to the next, that is final structure of the cells, the cell organelles. The cell organelles are the specialized and membrane bound living structures in a cell concerned with their definite functions, right? So here is the definition of cell organelles: the specialized and membrane bound living structures in a cell concerned with their definite functions they perform. Now organ and organelle. So just as there are different types of organs in our body, and so there are organelles inside a cell, right? So as each of our organ performs specific functions, one or more special functions, and each organelle has a specific function, right? So with our hands we can do different functions. The organs are like brain, heart, lungs, kidneys are the organ in our body, and they perform different types of functions, right? And one or more special functions. The living parts of a cell, which consists of cytoplasm, nucleus, and other living bodies, are collectively known as protoplasm or protoplast, right? The latter, that is the latter term, protoplast, is more appropriately used for a plant cell after the removal of cell wall, right? So it is more oftenly used for plant cell. Protoplasm is for protoplasm or protoplast, right? The living bodies in our body are called organelles and are same in both plant and animal cells except for the cell wall and chloroplast, as I have told you earlier, which are present in plant cells only, and centrosomes with centrioles present in animal cells only. So these centrosomes are present in the animal cell only, right? with centrioles. So if we want to see these centrioles are present here, right? These are present in animal cells only. The various organelles, examples of various organelles are nucleus, nucleolus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ER, ribosomes, Golgi bodies. These are all cell organelles. The non-living part of a cell, that is vacuoles and granules, are called cell inclusions. The non-living parts of a cell, keep it in mind, the non-living parts of a cell, that is vacuoles and granules. Vacuoles and granules are called the cell inclusions, right? Next, so this is the chart showing parts of cell and their main characteristics, right, and their chief functions. So this is first table is a part of a cell, then its main characteristics and its chief functions, the functions performed by it. So first is our cell membrane. It is also called plasma membrane. First is cell membrane or plasma membrane. So let me show you the structure where it is. This is cell membrane, right? This is cell membrane in a plant cell, right? So now we will study its function. This is fine structure of it, cell membrane, like this. So it is the outermost in the animal cells and it lies next to the cell wall in plants, and its main characteristics are it is outermost in animal cells and lies next to cell wall in the plant cells. It is very thin, flexible, living membrane. It is living, flexible and very thin. It has very fine pores. It is semi-permeable or selectively permeable. It is made up of lipoproteins. I have told you earlier, lipid plus proteins. So what are its main functions? Its main function of the cell membrane are it separates the contents of cell from its surroundings, right? Contents of cells, these are contents from its surroundings. And number second important function is it regulates entry of certain solutes and ions, right? So it is semi-permeable. It maintains the shape of the cell. It is rigid in animal cells only. It maintains shape of the cell in animal cells only. Keep it in mind. So next part we are going to do here is the cell wall. So it is found only in the plant cells. Please keep it in mind, very important. So it is the outermost layer in the plant cells. It is non-living, very important. Rigid layer surrounding the plasma membrane. It is freely permeable, allows all things to move in and out. It is mainly composed of cellulose. And what are its functions? It gives rigidity and shape to the plant cell, and it allows substances in solution to enter and leave the cell without any hindrance. Freely permeable. It provides protection. Chief function is protection, right? So this is its shape. It is found only in the plants. So next, students, is cytoplasm. So this is cytoplasm. All the parts together inside the plasma membrane, its main characteristic is all the parts together inside the plasma membrane excluding nucleus is called cytoplasm. It contains mixture of water and soluble inorganic and organic compounds and various organelles, right? So different organelles contained or found in it perform different functions. All metabolic activities occur in it, and medium for it is the medium, it provides medium for initial steps of respiration, that is production of pyruvic acid, and anaerobic phase of respiration, which is called glycolysis. You will study further about these things, right? Next, so next is endoplasmic reticulum, or we may call it as ER. This is the shape of endoplasmic reticulum. So what are its main characteristics? Main characteristics are, it is having irregular network of double membraned tubules, right? It is continuous with the plasma membrane on the outside and nuclear membrane on the inside. So keep it in mind, plasma membrane on the outside and nuclear membrane on the inside. So it may be smooth or smooth endoplasmic reticulum, we may call it as SCR. That is, when it is without ribosomes, it is smooth. When it is with ribosomes, it is rough, that is RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is different between SCR and RER, keep it in mind. So main functions are, it provides protein network for the cell, and it helps in synthesis and transport of proteins and fats in the cell. The next is mitochondria. So mitochondria, this is structure of mitochondria. So main characteristics of it are, it is of these are of various shapes, but usually sausage like. It is double walled and inner wall thrown into folds, which are called cristae. These are cristae. Folds are called cristae. They have their own DNA containing several genes, and they also contain their own ribosomes. So main functions are they help in release of energy from pyruvic acid and produce pyruvic acid, which is produced in cytoplasm in the form of ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. So seat of cellular aerobic respiration, it is the seat of cellular aerobic respiration and stores energy. It helps in synthesis of respiratory enzymes. So next is Golgi apparatus. In animal cells, they are called Golgi apparatus, and dictyosomes in the plant cells, right? Their main characteristics are, they are stacks of flattened membrane sacs. These are appearing here, and they consist of tubules called cisternae. They consist of tubules called cisternae and vesicles, vesicles and vacuoles. Their main function is synthesis and secretion of enzymes and hormones, etc., and formation of acrosome of sperms, only in animal cells. This function is only in animal cells. So next is ribosomes, very important. Golgi apparatus, these three are very important. Ribosomes like these, they are small organelles either scattered in the cytoplasm or attached to the outside of endoplasmic reticulum. These dots are ribosomes, right? They are single walled, dense and spherical bodies composed of RNA only, mainly. So their main function is protein synthesis in our body. Next next are lysosomes. Like this. They are membranous sacs buffed off from Golgi body. They contain different types of enzymes. Very important, keep it in mind. So they help in intracellular digestion. They destroy foreign substances. When our cell is all injured, these rapidly destroy organelles, and hence they are suicidal bags or suicide bags. They are called suicide bags. So they digest cartilages during formation of bones. So next are centrosomes. They are found only in the plant cells. These are centrosomes, right? So their main characteristics is a region surrounding the centrioles located near the nucleus, wherein they are found. They contains one or two centrioles. Centrioles are surrounded by microtubules. These are microtubules. So they initiates and regulates cell division. They form spindle fibers with the help of esters, right? So they are plastids. Another important they are found in plant cells only. These are plastids. Several kinds. They are of several kinds. Most common ones are chloroplast. Chloroplast is the green pigment. The chloroplast containing the green pigment, the chlorophyll. Green pigment in plants is called chlorophyll, right? They are double membraned, proteinaceous, having proteinaceous matrix and contain DNA. When they have disc-like structures called thylakoids, these disc-like structures contain the chlorophyll. Important thing to remember. So chloroplast, they are green in color. The plastid are of three types. When chloroplast, green in color, trap solar energy for photosynthesis, contain the pigment chlorophyll, right? Site for photosynthesis. Leucoplast, they are colorless, store starch and have no pigment. And chromoplast, they are variously colored, different types of colors, impart color to flowers and fruits, contain pigments known as xanthophyll, yellow colored pigment, carotene, orange red pigment. They also indirectly help in pollination by attracting different pollinators, which help disperse the seeds, help in dispersion of seeds. So next is nucleus. So this is nucleus, found both in animal and plant cells. They are the largest cell organelles. They are spherical and dense. Nuclear membrane with pores they have nuclear membrane with pores to allow substances to enter and leave. They contain network of thread-like structures called chromatin fibers, which contain the DNA. They regulate their functions are they regulate cell functions. If removed if the nucleus is removed, the cell dies. And they contain chromosomes and which are bearers of genes that control hereditary characters in our body, right? So next is nucleolus. So nucleolus, this is the shape of nucleolus. So one or more round shaped structures present inside the nucleus. So they produce ribosomes, found in both animal and plant cells. They produce ribosomes, participates in protein synthesis by forming and storing RNA, dictates ribosomes to synthesize proteins. Next is chromatin fibers. They are a fine thread-like network in resting stage of the nucleus, which condense into chromosomes during the cell division. They are made of DNA threads. Chromosomes carry genes which are carriers of hereditary information from parents to the, so these genes are carriers of hereditary information from parents to the offspring. So next two parts, that is vacuoles and granules, are non-living. They both are non-living. This is also non-living. These are important in their own ways. So these are vacuoles like this, and these are granules in the form of dots. So these vacuoles, they are have clear spaces with water or other substances in the solution. Plant cells have few but larger vacuoles, while animal cells have smaller ones. This is the difference. They are covered by a covering called tonoplast. They help in storage of water and other substances, food, pigments and waste products. They give turgidity to the plant cells by pressing against the cell wall. They contain pigments like anthocyanins, which is violet blue in color, right? So granules, they are small particles, crystals or droplets. Their function is they store starch in plant cells, glycogen in animal cells. Starch in plant cells and glycogen in animal cells, and fat droplets which serve as food for the cell. Very important, keep it in mind. Next, so now there are here are given differences between the plant cell and animal cells. This is plant cell, this is animal cell. So feature is, these are features. Feature first is size. So plant cells are usually larger, as we know, and they are usually smaller. Cell wall. Plant cells have a definite cell wall made up of cellulose. Here no cell wall in animal cells. Cytoplasm not so dense, cytoplasm denser and more granular. Arrangement of cytoplasm, only a thin lining of cytoplasm, mostly pushed to the periphery, and cytoplasm fills almost entire cell. Here it is only a thin lining of cytoplasm is found. Plastids are usually present. There are no plastid here. Centrosome absent. Here it is present. Vacuoles are large and prominent. Vacuoles, if any, are small and temporary, concerned with excretion or secretion. So here students, some practical like work is also given here, which is microscopic examination of onion peel. So here is the epidermal cell of peel from onion is easy to prepare. You can proceed as follows. So take some slices of onion, cut the onion bulb into 4 pieces. By cutting the onion bulb into 4 pieces or quarters lengthwise, from one of these quarters remove one thick scale of leaf. Take the fleshy scale of the onion in your hand and tear it like this from the inner concave side, so as to get a thin transparent strip of it. Now using a pair of forceps, remove the strip or peel and put it in a watch glass. Put it in a watch glass containing water. Cut a square piece of this peel about 5 into 5 millimeter and mount it on a slide. This is slide. In a slide in a drop of water as shown in figure 1.5. Cover the peel with the cover slip. This is cover slip, right? You will see in your lab carefully so that the tissue does not get wrinkled or ruptured. So this carefully examine the preparation under a low power microscope. You may may as well stain a material with iodine or eosine solution, which will make the nucleus more distinct. You can put iodine solution in it. More details of the cell structures can be seen under a high power microscope. Right, students? High power microscope. The cells of the onion peel have a somewhat like rectangular shape. Each cell has a prominent cell wall and a nucleus and a cytoplasm encircling one or two large vacuoles. This is one or two large vacuoles, right? So amoeba ये amoeba is a so here this is the structure of onion cell, right? These are shapes of onion cell. High power, especially the thick cell wall. Note the cells are firmly bound together and the nucleus is placed towards one side, right? This is the nucleus placed one side. These small dots are nucleus. Plant cells, right? So this is amoeba. Amoeba is a single celled unicellular organism. It grows, divides into two amoeba which regrow, and this division continues, right? If the nucleus from another amoeba is transplanted in an enucleated amoeba, the recipient survives and divides while the donor amoeba dies, right? This will die and this will survive and divide. So we can say that every activity of body of an organism is carried out by the cells, but each kind of cell is specialized for a different and particular functions, right? So here is given the nucleus, key to the life of a cell. Although every part of a cell contributes to the life of the cell as a whole, yet the key performer or the master of each cell is its nucleus. Keep it in mind. This can be easily understood by an experiment performed on amoeba, right? This is the experiment performed on amoeba, right? So students, this was the chapter first of your book. If you have understood it well, then please make more and more like, shares and subscriptions of it. We will do the review questions or questions in our next video, as this video has gone quite lengthy. So it's goodbye right now. We will meet in the next video with the exercise portion. Thank you. Bye bye. Goodbye. Please don't forget to make more and more likes and subscriptions. Thank you.